Because I've lost everything! And I'm in the same town as someone that I'm completely in love with. And she won't even talk to me!
Okay, so today I'm going to talk about a review that Rock for Jesus got from a foundation called the Dove Foundation. And they gave us an R rating, and I want to go over that because I love it. Like, I love the review, and I have so much respect for the guy that wrote it because he was basically like, this isn't really a Christian film. And we'll get into that, but guys, let's go ahead, let's get into it, and I want to read it, and then we'll talk about my thoughts. Okay, so if you type in Rock for Jesus, sometimes it still says Story of the Underdog because the company went ahead and they changed the subtitle. They wanted to kind of explain it a little bit more. It's fine. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but whatever, it's fine. So here we go. Rock for Jesus, the ultimate comeback. So if you look at that, it's the 18 plus Dove approved, rating thing. I'm thankful for them for rating the movie. But that's basically an R rating. So we're going to kind of go over all of this stuff here and why I love it. So guys, just so you guys know, like from the start, I wanted to make a film that was like absolutely just as real as it possibly could be. Like I wanted to make a film that just dropped you right in the center of a super messed up story of some people that had some serious problems and just basically portray real life. That's what Rock for Jesus is. So let's kind of go over here. Okay. So the synopsis, basically, we wrote this. Aaron Driver was once the singer of a rising Christian rock band, Reborn. Now he's struggling with suicidal thoughts and dealing with the fallout of his band, his friends, his faith, and the lost love of his life, Haley. But his world changes when a mysterious producer shows up and offers Aaron a chance to go to Los Angeles and restart his life and career. So that is very, very, very in line with the actual thing. We had to change things around with the producer. So the producer is a made-up character. I've got to say that essentially for legal purposes. But the producer in the film is just kind of a made-up character. All those situations, though, that basically happened. So I want to talk about this and the reality of what this film is and why I love this so much. So let's go ahead and go for it. So in a unique documentary style film, the life of Aaron Driver, a fictional Christian rock band frontman, like I said, we had to kind of take that route because there's a lot of people that would get really mad, is examined and followed. So we basically went off, and I'm really glad that they recognized the documentary style because I love The Office. That's one of my favorite TV shows, and we wanted to create something a little bit similar to that. I love this. The fresh approach to Christian filmmaking is intriguing and exciting. The story follows Aaron and the people in his life as he goes from having it all to losing everything. Once again, absolutely like the story of what happened. Aaron's Christian band, Reborn, is becoming very successful, allowing him and his best friend, a bandmate, to travel around Indiana doing what they love most. Was more Kentucky and whatever, not just Indiana, and it was more around the country, but whatever. Doing what they love most, rocking for Jesus. Okay, that's kind of corny, but whatever. Every night they are able to inspire faith and hope in others, accompanied by Aaron's dutiful girlfriend, Haley. That's not spelled right. Haley, yeah, that's not spelled right. That's fine. So basically, yeah, this is the beginning of the movie. This is the prologue of the movie is right here, what I just read. Very shortly after that, the movie is about everything just going straight to really bad things. So little those around him or the viewers know that everything is not as shiny and bright as they may appear. Concealed within Aaron's life are some very dark truths that are revealed strategically and brilliantly throughout the film. Thank you so much. I worked so hard on those reveals to try to make them as good as they can. This movie is not perfect. The first time I saw this movie, I didn't want to throw up, but I was very disappointed because there's a lot of things that I missed. There's a lot of storylines that we just didn't pay enough attention to. To me, we didn't focus in enough on the suicide stuff. It focuses more on like, okay, is the band going to get back together? And is Aaron and Haley going to get back together in this new relationship? So the suicide stuff to me kind of gets lost at some point. But I'm very thankful because this is like the core. This paragraph right, or this part right here, is the core of what it was. Is I'm out playing in Second Perception and things were just, dude, family life, relationships, friends, everything was just going down the tubes, like at an alarming rate. So this part's cool. So despite being superficial in some regards, whatever, the plot does address a very important topic: suicide awareness and prevention. As a person who has struggled with suicidal thoughts the majority of his life, I respect what the minds behind this film were doing. You can see the heart and passion they put into the project in every beautiful aerial shot, every dramatic moment, every dark reveal. That I wanted this film to portray what Southern Indiana has been to me essentially for the past, there's a freaking bug, for the past 14 years, which is largely kind of depressing and broken. Just a lot of failed relationships, a lot of bad family stuff. And I wanted to kind of show what that meant throughout the cinematography, which is why we wanted to trade this place. Indiana is so beautifully sad to me sometimes. I think there's just a mindset around here that can be so sad. And I'm not saying with everything, but there's just, it's weird around here, guys. And maybe if you can relate to that, just comment in the section. There we go. The cinematography is gripping and flawless. Thank you to my sister, Julie Jackson. She just killed it there. The acting is believable and heartfelt. I really appreciate that. We paid so much attention to this. I mean, we did so many takes for scenes to make sure that there was like nothing corny. And I think maybe you guys could point out some corny moments. We tried to make sure that there was nothing in there and everything felt so real. Visually, the film is beautiful to look at, which is no small feat, considering it was a passion project with a limited budget. We had no budget. I was taking money out of like music videos and like recordings that I could do during the week to try to pay people. So it was just insane. It's not a small budget movie. It's a no budget movie. Musically, the film is top notch. Thank you so much. Featuring original music from the star, writer, and director himself, Joel Jackson. I grew up a musician. I wanted to score it. I wanted to score this thing kind of like a Lord of the Rings type thing, like just absolutely beautiful score. But then the music was really nice because I'm just such a fan of that kind of stuff. I was pleasantly surprised by the lyrical and vocal quality of the songs used in the film and found myself commenting that I would enjoy listening to them again. Well, you might be able to here soon because I got some things in the works. Okay. Perhaps the most troubling part of the film lies in its own claims that there is always a light in the darkness. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they're talking about the statement, when all the world grows dark, there is still light.
When all the world grows dark, there is still light. I don't see it anymore.
For me, I mean, essentially what that's saying is when you're at your worst day, there's better days ahead. Maybe those better days are 5 years down the road like it was for me, but they're better days ahead. So that's what that means to me. But while Rock for Jesus offers us plenty of drama and darkness, it offers very little hope, very little biblical substance, and leaves the viewer at least with a lot of questions. Guys, this here is my absolute favorite sentence in this whole review, and here's why. I don't feel it's insulted at all. When I was in Second Perception and when we were doing that, like it did not play out like a Christian culture, Christian movie thing. I don't even know if Christian culture plays out like this. This is what it was. My life, at least, very little hope, very little biblical substance, and there was a lot of questions. Like, there's just points in life sometimes that get really, really difficult, and that's just what it is. Like, that's kind of the way I see it. That's just what it is. And you don't always walk around and like everybody's ready to go to coffee and do a small group and a Bible study. Like, some points in your life just suck. And like, that's what this movie was about. And so that's what I so respect about what he said here, because we wanted to just drop the cameras in. That was the entire point of this movie, was to basically drop the cameras in to a random situation with a band and show how screwed up it was. That's it. That's all we wanted to do. In my opinion, the film relies too heavily on romantic relationships as a catalyst for action. It does not set a healthy pattern for godly relationships before, during, or after any of Aaron's many phases. Guys, just so you know, like, how smart this is, we wanted to portray the interviews and relationships in there as absolutely naive.
He brought us together and we're created to praise him together. And I think when that's not happening, that's when things go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I think she hit it really well. A relationship without God at the center is just hollow. And I like to think we've kept him there so far. And It's going pretty well. Like, these people think they know what's up. They're a bunch of young 20-year-olds think they know what's up, but like they get kicked in the teeth with life. And then, like, if you guys know my story, so after the end of Rock for Jesus, that all happened, and then I stopped believing in Christianity for basically 3 years because maybe this sentence here, and that's why, and there was no substance or anything, because life just sucked. And I got in these situations and circumstances that were very, 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 very hard. That's kind of what it is. So from a main character who goes from proclaiming Christ to acting very un-Christ-like at the drop of a hat, yeah, that's yep, that's it. This I totally don't agree with. To cliche salvation scenes that don't result in change. This is probably the only thing that I would say I absolutely don't agree with. First off, the cliche salvation scene would be the pastor in the church, and we have the prayer and the whatever that happens in like every Christian movie. We did all of our salvation stuff in like silent moments. There was music playing or something, so I don't agree with that. Also, who gets saved and like becomes perfect? Who does that? Like, if you look at the like Saul, like the story of David, like the man after God's own heart, who was just a total just jerk from the time he was born to the end, for the most part, like just screwed up, did a lot of things. You know, even Moses, who couldn't enter the promised land because he just disobeyed God. Like, guys, salvation, like, to me, is just a point where you're like, you know what, I'm going to try to love God and love people as much as I can. But some people's lives suck so much, and there's so much terrible things going on that it does not result in true change. What in the world results in true change? But that being said, this is probably the only part of the film I don't agree with. I think I'm so happy that this guy did this review. Rock for Jesus promises hope. It doesn't really deliver as well as it could because it's a real story to me. And this is a real situation, guys. How many people go in, get baptized, and then just end up falling away? I have seen it countless times. Rock for Jesus is like a doorway. Like, are you going through something? And it's Rock for Jesus is the first step. After Rock for Jesus, you can go watch Fireproof. You can go watch things like that, which I'm a huge fan of those movies. But they explain things way more clearly. This is just hopefully a relatable story about how bad life can get. My take, however, and this is what I love, is that the content of the film is purposefully disjointed, yes, and dark, because that's how our main character feels. Perfect. He got it. Like, he gets it. And the simple victory of continuing to live, continuing the story of God has for him, however twisted and complex it may be, is hope. That's it. Dude got it. That's why I love this review. He got it. Like, that's the point, guys, and that's why I never want to go back and start beating people up for their like rough situations, because like, if someone is going crazy on Facebook, if someone is losing their mind, they're probably going through the worst time in their life. Probably. Rock for Jesus is an undeniably unique, creative film with a style that is uncommon and fresh to the world of Christian film. While it doesn't offer the sound resolution I would like, Rock for Jesus has something to say, and I think it's worth listening to, because Rock for Jesus deals with subject matter that is for mature viewers, such as suicide and complex issues of faith. The film has been awarded the Dove Seal of Approval for ages 18. So basically, we got an R rating. The Dove take. Rock for Jesus is an undeniably unique creative film with style. Okay, so we just basically got that. Yeah, so that's just a bunch of stuff that there's no sex. There's no sex, I promise. That's just, yeah. Okay, so guys, thank you for sticking through that. That's just, someone's take on Rock for Jesus, and I love it so much because the dude just got it, and I hope everybody gets it, that this is a film about a totally screwed up dude who's got no idea what's going on, but he's doing, like, he keeps driving, if you've seen the film, and he keeps trying to get better. Keeps trying to understand life more, understand God more. And that's what this channel is all about. I'm going to post stupid stuff sometimes. I really hope that's to an absolute minimum. But and in fact, I just wrote this in my notes when I was running, don't operate from your sadness. Don't post a video because you have a sad thought and you have to post a video about it. So guys, that's what this YouTube channel is about. Faith Talks. I want to be someone that's super relatable. I am never, ever going to be that perfect church dude that is his life is pretty stable, because my life is not very stable. It's getting there. It's getting to a point, but there's just a lot of baggage, and I'm saying way too much. But guys, Thank you so much. Joel Jackson, not from Zero to Hero, from Faith Talks. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking with me. Joel Jackson, take care. Bye.